Hi, welcome back to Is It That Bad on the Comic Core. This is season 2. Big changes for Is It That Bad.
You got a lot of energy.
I do. I'm sorry, I've had caffeine. We've had some restructuring going on, and some casting decisions have been made. So we are here to introduce you to our lovely new co-host. You know him, you love him, you think he is one of the greatest that has ever been. Some may even call him the legend, shall we say? The great one himself, my comic dad, the Great Legend Live Show.
It's an honor.
Reg.
It's an honor to be co-hosting the hottest show on Sunday nights. Is It That Bad? Cat Wren and Mark. We are here. We are live. And tonight we're talking Teddy and the Pit.
The Pit.
Man, what a great film. What do you think, Mark?
I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard The Pit, I was like imagining like a documentary about Brad Pitt.
I was thinking the Mortal Kombat pit, or the pit at the end of the Cobra Kai last season, where they were fighting on that little freaking bridge over the cobras and stuff.
Yeah, we originally came up with the concept of doing the movie The Pit when we were doing kind of like an off-air streaming of The Last Drive-In from Shudder. Big group of us for the comic.
Gotta love Joe Bob Briggs. Yep.
A lot of shout outs to our boys Seawood 19 and Drew Manchubebe. Both of them were on it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also shout out to Chad and Tank. Tank wasn't there, but Chad was on and off. And they ended up showing a trailer for The Pit and how it was going to be on Shudder. And all of us were like, oh my God. Crazy kid trying to kill an old lady in a wheelchair and her flailing her arms around. We have to watch it. But wow, this movie.
Man, I tell you, The Pit. You know, you got a little guy named Jamie, and he's a guy that has some parents, and the parents are not home a lot. They're always on trips or doing, business work, or be it as it may. He's just a kid that's kind of neglected, it seems, But speaking of kids that are neglecting, hey, Cat Wren, how about that chat? Who do we got in the chat tonight?
So earlier on in the chat, we didn't have the first one. I had a little conversation with him. Ricky Martstadt was in the chat. He had to go, but, shout out to the Discord and all of that. Had to put the Discord in there. Ricky Martstadt, awesome person. Also, we got Mr. Gretzky, 966.
It's got the new freaking awesome hockey Smurf logo there, looking cool.
Our boy, Carson Seawood.
Oh, yeah. Hey, yo. It's good to see Carson, the Seawood 19. He says, I have The Pit playing in the background as I'm watching this. Well, man, you're in for a treat because, Cat Wren, you're in the hot seat. What did you think about first initial impressions of The Pit?
So I'm very proud of myself. I went into this completely blind. I didn't want to know anything going into this. I didn't want to know any of the special effects. I just saw the bit of that little trailer and that was it. And then I just added it on my watch list and I was like, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna have fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this movie did not disappoint. Jamie is a bit of a disturbed little boy. 12-year-old boy, doesn't have any friends. His parents can't communicate with him. The only person or thing that he really seems to want to hang out with or communicate with is the teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with talking with teddy bears?
Well, I mean, that's fine when you're like 5 and 6. When you're 12 years old and you get beaten up at school because you run around naked with a Superman cape instead of like hanging out with people, yeah, it's a little much. Apparently, he's gotten a bit of a reputation in the area. All the kids think he's weird. The librarian has issues with him. That's never good. Don't mess your librarian now.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so bad that his parents have actually decided to move. So they go on an extended trip to the new area where his dad's taken on a job, and they're looking for a house for them to live in. And in that period of time, they have set up a house sitter slash like babysitter for him. And they got this pretty young psychology student, and they kind of give her a lot of warnings about Jamie, and kind of should be a red flag when you're first meeting this kid, first having dinner, and his dad has to get after him because he's trying to look up your skirt at dinner.
True.
You know, that should probably be your first warning, but you know.
What is wrong with dropping your napkin?
Gene,
see, even Gene's saying no, but
yeah, Mr. Benjamin, when this kid, they were interviewing or, you know, having a dinner, you know, first time dinner with his new governess or whatnot. This kid like drops a napkin. This girl under the table, she's just wearing a skirt and her legs ain't crossed or nothing. Because hell, she's not expecting her crotch to be viewed by some 12-year-old Jamie Benjamin.
Yeah,
you know, damn that Jamie. Also, just the whipping boy among his classmates. Like I remember when Jamie comes up to Freddie or whatever the kid's name is, says, "Hey, my name's Jamie. Can I join your club?" And then that dude's just like, bam, and just punches him right in the nose. Oh God, poor guy though. You know, he's feeling it.
This kid, he doesn't fit in. He talks to his animals in his terrarium, and you know his bear, and then he finds this pit in the middle of the woods, and we find out that this pit has creatures living in the bottom of it. The troglodytes.
Troglodytes, the trogs.
The trogs.
Evil.
And I love how he goes through all of these different scenarios, like what do they eat? And he's asking his babysitter this, and she's like, I don't know, do they eat candy bars?
Yeah.
And like all the scenes of him stealing her money before she realizes it, and him going to the butcher, and even the butcher's getting a little concerned at the amount of meat this kid's purchasing.
Tons of meat. He brought in the bills, and he wanted the most bang for his buck. So it was a crap ton of ground beef and ground chuck that you'd put in stew and stuff.
It was all stew meat, and he's like, then you want hamburger and stew meat then?
Yeah. He's like, I want both. I'll take both of each.
Yep.
That was so great. And then the butcher's like, do I need to call your mom?
he tried to steal that huge like leg,
lamb leg, or wherever that big old hawk thing was.
Freaking leg.
Imagine those big old pieces of meat that Rocky's punching in the freaking Rocky movie in the freezer.
And
the kid's trying to yank one of those out of the ice truck. That was funny. Oh God, old Jamie boy. He just wanted to feed those trogs. We got Fish Tropic. Look at that guy. Giving a shout out to Cyborg, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So Jamie also has like this weird kind of like pervy side.
Yeah.
Best way to
talking
put
about
it.
Like his little magazine that he puts in between the mattress.
Like,
well, actually, question: what is wrong with writing messages while you're on the mirror while you're in the shower?
A lot of things are wrong with that.
Yeah, that was
a lot of
pretty
things
creepy.
are wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, then wait till Florida.
He decides that he's in love with his babysitter. He goes through all these different like stage crushes and just like peeping Tom moments with like various female characters, and just kind of being like a little more than just interested, shall we say? Like honestly, just being a little creepy, creeper. Yeah. And he decides he's in love with his babysitter. And yeah, very, very pretty young woman, but gets a little far with that one. He goes into the bathroom when she's in the shower, and it's not even to peep on her. It's just to write "I love you" on the mirror in her lipstick. Damn. And then he gets like a full viewed shot of her through the curtain, and he doesn't know what to do, and he just freezes and he just watches her for a second, and then he runs out of there, and he's so proud of himself. And it's
he got a little side view of a little bit of side boob. If you
got all the side boob, and then like her reaction when she just screamed, he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Like he was so proud, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
He was proud of his accomplishment. He was in his room talking to his teddy, his little teddy bear that he has. Of course, that it's his imaginary friend that talks back to him sometimes too, or his thoughts, or those Jamie's own thoughts talking back to him, as in maybe another personality.
So, in the movie, so there's two different variations of this. I found it a little bit more after the fact, but in the original script, it was way different. Where this was all just supposed to be in his head,
Mm-hmm.
and everything from the teddy bear speaking to him to the troglodytes, all that is just in his head. It's all imaginary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was just his way of coping with being bullied and everything. And yeah, he did end up killing people in the book and everything, but it was just like shoving them in the pit and they'd like break their necks or something. But in the film, they decided to ramp it up a bit. So it's kind of like they started with that because Teddy, the voice of Teddy in his head, is also voiced by the same child actor who plays Jamie. And it's just kind of like this weird demonic voice of his. But it's like, would we prefer to see the more like mentally screwed up Jamie just kind of in his mind dealing with all of this? Or do we like seeing the troglodytes? Because me personally, I think the troglodytes, their costuming is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's really disappointing that they're in the dark so much.
Yeah.
I wish they were a little bit better lit.
They have they had that nice black fur on them, but the camera was moving so fast when they were running across the screen. But they did look like little short kind of ape type creatures, just with really sharp critter like teeth, like those critters. Yeah, the troglodytes. So there was 4 in the pit. I think there was originally 5, he said, but one of them died. So there's 4 of those trogs in the pit. And he would take all the evil people that, ridiculed him, picked on him, messed with him, and he, led him to the pit. And of course, he would get a lot of his inspiration from Teddy, the little teddy bear, of course. But like Kat says, this was in his own mind. So, and we have mentioned that Teddy's voice was the voice of Jamie, just kind of more of a scary, quiet, kind of like Batman voice. And, he killed, of course. Oh, you know what I really liked? The opening of the movie where he was leading Freddie and Freddie's girlfriend at that Halloween party. He led them to the pit. And then you kind of see later on in the movie, you see the whole, how it all like comes up to that point, which I thought was really cool. And then there was the classic scene where, he's really taking those things to the extreme, where he voice recorded himself or Teddy talking, whichever demonic guy he had in him or evil character he had in him. And he would put a whole message on a voice recorder, play it on the phone, while at the same time he's outside the librarian's house. And he says that, hey, I've got your niece. If you ever want to see her again, you'll take off your clothes right now because I can see you through the window or whatever. And she takes off her clothes and he takes pictures of this lady. And it seems like every evil thing he does, like whether it be, taking Freddie and his girlfriend to the pit, or Sandy's boyfriend, who was a football player, she invited him over so he could throw football with him. He led that guy to the pit, and Sandy didn't even know that he got led to the pit. He just thought he had quit calling her. But he led all these people to the pit, and he always kept mementos. And then later in the movie, you see that Sandy now has a new boyfriend that she's seeing that guy with the mustache. And somehow freaking Jamie puts a lot of that incriminating evidence in the dude's car. I thought, damn, this kid, he's pretty smart. I mean, well, they did say his IQ was off the charts. That's what his teacher said.
He also just pointed everything directly at him, because it's like, he's like, she just went off with her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
He was an older guy, had a mustache, and he drove a car. It was either yellow. Where's green?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I think it was yellow. No, it was definitely green.
Yeah. It was wild, though. They actually found him somehow. The cops found that guy.
He came forward. because he found out she was missing.
Yeah.
You know, because he seemed like a nice guy, and then it was like even the cops are like, he has no motive. Why would he kill all these people?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
There's the part in the movie where Jamie is told the secret of the trogs in the pit before, and Sandy kind of just blew it off. But later in the movie, you know, they're at an ends because Jamie's still trying to do some peeking around the curtain, and she wants all the lovey-dovey stuff to stop. So he's like, okay, well, I'll stop, but you have to come to the pit. And then Sandy finally comes out to the pit and discovers it. Kat, what did you think about when Sandy finally went out there and she was all about like, we got to get some help out here. These are extinct creatures.
yeah. So Sandy's looking at this, and Sandy's a decent person. She's thinking this is a great scientific. Sorry, Odin's barking for some reason.
The pit
The,
got him.
the pit's getting him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's troglodytes in my backyard. I don't know.
Like a fully loaded
But-
captain.
He got Jean
Yeah.
Grey though. Jean Grey's coming to the rescue.
But so she's thinking like, hey, these creatures must be like thousands of years old. No one else has ever seen these before. Like we need to get some paleontologists out here. They can put these in zoos. They can study them. We can find out so many things. Da, da, da. And he gets upset with her.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like not really bickering, but disagreeing about
Mhm.
this. And that's when tragedy strikes.
Yeah. Poor
And
gal. She got a little
she
too close,
slipped.
I guess, right?
He didn't
she
push
was
her.
right. Yeah, she was just right on the edge.
War
And,
heels.
you know, and those hills really dig through that loose ground. And she just fell in. And I mean, he even tried, like, she was caught on some kind of like roots or vines or something. And Jamie was trying to pull Sandy up, but damn, the lines finally broke and Sandy had to feel it while the trogs had to
Yeah.
feed.
I'll tell you that was probably my favorite scene in the entire movie, just because
Mhm.
so many of these like scenes you don't actually see the death, and
Yeah.
you don't even hear like a scream or anything. They just get pushed in, and
Mhm.
then you just
That's
see him like, you know, and you just hear the trogs eating, you know, and there's no struggle or anything. But with her, she saw it coming.
Mhm.
She's stuck in between. Jamie's up top trying to like pull her up, trying with everything he can. She's screaming for him. And you hear the trogs and you see them down below trying to climb up, trying to reach for her and everything. And it's this horrifying moment where she realizes she's falling.
Ugh,
And
you know she's screwed too.
Jamie's this death in particular is very important because Jamie doesn't care about any of these deaths until this one.
Mhm. He
This is
really loved this
He's a
girl.
good person in his eyes.
Wait,
Mhm.
did we already list the first mistake? Don't hike in heels.
Heels. Yeah, I already said the heels.
Mhm.
I mean,
But-
I've tried it before. It does not work out.
But Jamie, it really bugs him when she dies. And he goes back to Teddy and he's crying and he's telling Teddy that he tried. He really tried. And
Mhm.
she just fell. And he's constantly going back to Teddy and wanting to talk about her. And he doesn't want to bring anyone else to the pit after that.
Yeah.
And he's seeing her ghost everywhere.
Oh,
And it's haunting him.
Rat,
And it's
Rat,
like,
remember
oh,
Rat
wow.
when she fell in? Rat when she fell in and like he knew he had lost her or whatever. It
Mhm.
just like ripped a hole in his heart. He was just like crushed. He like went, oh, you know, and he like slammed to the ground and he was just in so much despair too. Jamie. We got
So-
aggressive relaxing in the chat too. It's good to see AR in here.
So Carson has something pretty funny in the chat. So far, I can tell the entire budget for this movie went to digging a hole into someone's backyard.
That's all you
Yeah.
need to do.
Yeah, you see a giant hole in your backyard, and then you just put troglodytes in it. It's fine.
That's all
It's fine.
you
That's totally a way to get rid of your enemies. Just
need.
throw them to the troglodytes.
Mhm.
Maybe the director was getting a pool put in and used it as a tax.
They said this movie, it was made up there in Canada, and they also say the movie's also known as Teddy. That's just even a creepy name too. But I mean, you got two main factors in this film. You know, you got the pit and Teddy. I mean, the thing about it is, you could have probably made 2 movies out of this thing, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe have the kid just be tormented by Teddy, and Teddy will tell him to do evil things and stuff. And then you just got the classic pit, you know, leading people out to the pit's always good too.
So one scene with Ted where it's kind of like, is Teddy like a possessed demon or something?
Oh,
in
that's
his hair?
right.
The moment when the babysitter is going through this kid's room, like picking up his dirty laundry, and she's straightening his bed, making his bed, and she finds his dirty magazine, and she starts flipping through it for a second, and she's like, huh, well, he is that age. I love it because she just puts it back and tucks the bed in and everything, just pretends like she never found it, doesn't say a thing about it. And you see Ted, after she's closed the door, he turns his head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
that was pretty cool.
Was he
That's
real?
kinda cool. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. That's like a good tease, but you never know. Maybe, and I guess that's what the director and stuff and the folks that made the movie, they wanted to put that in. It's like, make us question, is it real or is it really just Jamie? Another thing I noticed that Sandy did when she was telling his teacher, the teacher that had him write all those sentences on the freaking chalkboard or whatever, that was when he took that that nudist art book to school, and this teacher, her and Sandy were jogging, and Sandy was just questioning. She was like, well, golly, you know, he seems like any other normal, you know, preteen. He's got the dirty magazine, but at the same time, he's got this teddy bear imaginary friend thing. So it's like he's kind of caught in the middle, you know, of adolescence, I guess. It's very interesting. And what did you think, Mark, about the back to school special type musical soundtrack? Did you like that?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, man. I figured you'd love those kind of like little shows, those after school specials.
I feel like we learned a lesson every time the music changed.
Yeah.
Like we learned something about not talking to strangers or something.
The dude's pushing that old lady to the freaking pit in the wheel. He's pushing that wheelchair, and she's blind and stuff too. And he's pushing her to the pit, and then they're playing this little happy music. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna run with you as fast as I can. It's only a mile.
Oh God.
So
it was great. The music went along with some of these scenes was pretty awesome.
So if she's blind, how did she see him running around naked, wearing only a Superman cape, screaming like a banshee?
That's a good point.
See,
I think she's a liar. I think she's a liar, and she made all of this up.
You know, that didn't make any sense.
And completely screwed him over, because apparently that happened about the time they moved there, and it got out to his school, and everyone thought he was crazy or weird.
Yeah,
but wait, that is true. How did the lady see all that?
And he even apologized to her about it and everything. And then later he talks about how she's blind, and I'm like, then she didn't see shit.
Mm-hmm.
She's a liar.
How about when that part was the librarian, her name was Marge Livingston, and then she had her niece over, and the niece played a little prank. Yeah, the niece was working on her bike, really great with her bike, but she took the front wheel off, and but she set the bike up to where it looked like it was all in one part, and she let Jamie say, "Oh, come on, Jamie, you could ride my bike." So Jamie gets on there. The front wheel's not really attached; it's just sitting there. And he goes back, and he just falls off the bike, and she laughs and makes fun of him. But later on, you know, she finally he says, you know, I know one of the best bike tracks there is, and I bet you can't do it because girls can't do it. So he challenged this little niece of the librarian to come out there and ride this bike track, and basically just led her to the pit, and she had to feel it.
Yeah. Word of advice: you ever think somebody's weird and they're trying to get you to come out in the woods alone with them? Maybe don't do it.
That's it. It's too risky.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
I'm just like, oh, you gonna feed her to that thing. Here's the one thing. So that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
That happened almost immediately after he played that prank on the librarian to get the Polaroid photos of her and everything. And it's just she knew somebody had crank phone called her and threatened her niece.
Mm-hmm.
And that somebody was messing around with her niece. She knew that this kid Jamie kept constantly popping up around her niece, and that they were having a few altercations back and forth. And now her niece is missing all of a sudden. You're
Yep.
not going to think, this little shit did something to my niece. I'm telling you right now, as an auntie myself, if anything happened and I knew something like this going on, I would have grabbed that little boy by the throat. And I'd be
Hell
like,
yeah.
where's my niece?
Where's my niece at?
Where's my niece?
We got Louis the Fifth in the chat. It's good to see Louis in the house, watching a little bit of that. Is It That Bad? Where we're talking about tonight, fans, The Pit, the 1981 classic horror film starring Sammy Snyders and Jeannie Elias. Of course, Sammy is Jamie and Jeannie Elias is Sandy, the governess, the babysitter. Man, this kid was troubled, no doubt about it. The Pit. Damn. Trying to think of some other just kick-ass things of The Pit. So after a while, it's time for Jamie to go. I guess this is after Sandy dies tragically by falling into the pit. But he goes and spends some time with his grandmother and grandfather. And as he gets to the front door, he's met by one of the little neighbor kids. I think her name was Alicia or something like that.
I guess they're step cousins or something.
Yeah, like step cousins or something. That's what she says, step cousins. And then she's like, they were like, we could be playmates. And then Jamie's so excited because this girl was the first one. Yeah, the first one to really initiate
pretty
the
little
play
girl.
date.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
and he's just taken back. He's like, damn, this girl, good looking gal, she wants to play with me. Hell, I'm gonna follow this girl to the end of the world, So the guy, he goes out there, she leads him to her own pit, and then he looks over the pit. He knows exactly. He says, yeah, those are trogs or whatever, and he's talking about him, and you can kind of see her kind of sidestep him, and she's coming around the back of him.
Like they eat people,
and then just that quick shove, and then
she's like,
she just very calmly walks behind him and says, I know,
and then it just pops him, and it goes like and it pauses on the screen where it's like and then she's pushing him in. Oh, that was so freaking epic type cool little jump scare, even though you knew that girl was gonna push his ass in there.
Oh yeah,
I pretty much knew when she wanted to show him something. I knew it was going to be another damn pit with trolls in it,
So I love the fact that Jamie has this whole thing where he only wants to push people that he considers bad people or evil people into the pit. And, it's all the tormentors that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
And, he feels true remorse when his babysitter falls in and dies. But then this little girl just met him and is like, hey, I can feed you to my pets.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, okay, so there is a novel based on the original script and screenplay. And I guess they went a bit more into some of the lore with how the pits are connected through underground caves.
Sure.
And how there's multiples and everything everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Teddy was really involved with pushing Jamie into feeding more and more people to the pit and everything and to the trogs. Man. And I wish they'd gone more in depth with that because I'm like, that sounds really cool. I kind of want to read this book now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to get this book read. Let's see, Teddy by John Galt, Gault. That's the guy who originally wrote the novel of the film, published in 1980. So look for something called Teddy by John Galt, Gault. Interesting. I bet the books, they always say the books are better than the movies.
Well, they're able to have so many more details and everything.
Mm-hmm. More details, more stuff in there. Let's see. Anyone in the chat, let us know if you've seen this movie, The Pit, because Fish Tropic, he was meaning to watch it, but Fish Tropic, you go watch it. You can still watch it on Shudder. Do like Seawood 19's doing. He's watching Cat, Mark, and Legend at the same time on Is It That Bad? Damn. This is a damn good movie. So what else do you think? Good.
Mark, you want to talk about it? You haven't really talked about it much.
Did you like that librarian? Damn, she did look all right. When she
was a very pretty librarian.
Yeah,
I will say
nice
that.
Librarian.
I really don't know how I feel about the movie. Quite honestly, I don't know.
Is it the worst you've ever seen?
No, it was not the worst I've ever seen. It was definitely up there, but it wasn't like there was just too much. It was all over the place.
And it had that after school specials type music.
Yeah.
When that was on at the same time, it was kind of like, to me, I didn't know what the hell I was watching. I'm like thinking to myself, is this like kid going to learn some good morals with this music? And then I'm like, then he's like pushing that old lady in the wheelchair. It's like, no, he ain't learning anything. He's trying to kill it, throwing another in the pit, you know?
Yeah.
See what it says. I've only seen one person being shoved into the pit so far. Needs more of that. Yeah.
Oh, you get a lot of it.
Yeah. I don't know. There was probably like 5 or 6, maybe 7 that finally got in there. I don't know. Maybe not that many. But Kat, do you think this movie, do you think they should have done a sequel possibly with Alicia, the one that shoved Jamie into the pit? Maybe once she shoves him in, have the movie based on her storyline. Damn. What did you think about that? A sequel to The Pit.
I would like to see a sequel for The Pit.
Mhm.
I'd like them to explain more about how there are more pits going on. And, you know, if this means, is Alicia going to be teaming up with Teddy, or does she have like her own little like
Mhm.
demonic character running around with her? And I mean, is Alicia, does she just kill whoever whenever?
Yeah,
Or
that's what
did-
it looked
did
like.
is she just like an opportunist and she saw like, oh, this is a new kid. This is an easy mark. Because let's face it, he doesn't know anyone other than his grandparents. And he's brand new. And
Yeah.
it's just, it'd
Easy
be so
target,
easy.
easy mark. Yep.
Just an opportunistic moment. Had to take it.
So
And
are
you know-
they going to realize that he's gone?
Well, yeah, the grandparents will realize that he's gone, and then the grandparents will probably question Alicia, and she'll say, "Well, he was just I
We were
left
just
him.
running around. And then
Yeah, we
he
were just running around, but
was gone.
he went off into the field somewhere."
He was just gone. I just turned around and he's gone.
Yeah, and then of course she could go back and get the Teddy, because Teddy was kind of left in the front yard when he set his little bag down. So Teddy's still out there to trouble Alicia. You know, I think if they did do that, they could even do it today's time, where they just change it up. They could start it like they started this film. Start it with a, as Jamie started the film by throwing in the high school partiers, but start this film with the girl pushing in Jamie. And then after she pushes him in, then the movie starts for her, and it kind of goes to how she became who she became. If you threw that whole movie in the pit, the troglodytes would throw it back. Oh, what Hulk? What Hulk? Are they talking about the Ang Lee Hulk movie? Yeah.
Yeah. Live action Hulk.
The only great thing about the Ang Lee Hulk movie, I thought Eric Bana did a great job as Bruce Banner. I thought old Sam Elliott did a great job as old mustache guy, God, whatever his name is, Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross. And I thought it was good, but the problem was with that movie, the CGI, they made him too big. And, they should, I wouldn't say taller than 7 feet. And they made the character like 10 feet. It just didn't look right.
Yeah.
If they would have had Edward Norton CGI Hulk, that would have been a hell of a lot better,
Yeah.
But yeah, old Pitt though. Pitt can give the old Ang Lee a run for its money. The only other thing that I reviewed the last time we did our show was where we talked about Kung Pao.
Enter the Fist.
Yeah, Enter the Fist. Kung Pao, Enter the Fist.
Kung
and so
Fu cows.
I would say, I don't know. It's kind of weird or kind of creepy, but I kind of liked this movie better than Kung Pao Enter the Fist. I don't know. Was it as worse? I don't know. Like, to me, Kung Pao Enter the Fist was pretty damn bad, but that's what Kung Pao, that was the goal all along. So you just got to enjoy the shows for what they are. And sure enough, when you're watching this show on Sunday nights, is it that bad? Most likely it is, to some extent.
So me personally, like, I went into this expecting this movie to be god awful. Not gonna lie. I watched it, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not that bad. It wasn't for me personally. I felt like this was a fun movie. There was a lot of silliness going on. Yeah, there's a lot of like really like, why is this happening in this movie? What is this kid's motivation? There was a lot of things that I think that if they had maybe had a different director or maybe gone with a few different choices, it could have been a fantastic film. Is this an award-winning, like, fantastical film that should be in everyone's top 10? No, it's not. It's not. This, don't get me wrong. This is a bad movie. Is it that bad? No, I think this is a fun movie. I wish they had explained more of it.
Mhm.
I really want to read the book now because of all this and because a few of the things I found out researching this after the fact. But I had fun. And for me personally, if something is like a god-awful movie, it's a movie that I don't have fun with. I had fun with this.
I did too.
And, it's got a bit of a cult following, and I can see why. I can definitely see why this is lived on partially as like a cult film. What about you, Mark?
Yeah.
The Pit. Is it that bad?
His haircut was pretty badass. You're going to C word on that one.
I'm going to put the link for the book in the chat real quick.
Okay, I'm going to buy that book.
Oh, man, it's a mass market paperback. Currently unavailable. Damn!
So,
All right, so it says
what's the-
unavailable.
What's the name, the author's last name again?
It's Gault, Gault. Mass market paperback. It's called Teddy. I'll still drop the link anyway because it's just good info.
Oh, I was typing
good
Pit.
link
I
there.
kept typing Pit instead of Teddy. That's probably why I couldn't find it.
Here, let's do this. Let me put it in here. We're going into the chat, fans. We're going to put this book in there so maybe you could read some reviews. I don't know if there's one review that a person bought it in 2010, but I don't think it's for sale anymore there. Let me try this real quick. There you go. Little link if anyone wants to watch or look at that book there on Amazon. Maybe you might have to find even one of those off of eBay. Or what is that Mirakuru site you were talking about?
Macari.
Macari. Yeah, Mirakuru. That's what they fed Deathstroke.
It's possible.
Hey, that link that I put in the chat, Kat, it was with my Amazon affiliate link. So, hey, anybody, if you use that link in the future, thanks.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Legends.
The Legends links in the chat. I'm going to try to see if they have this on eBay. John
I'm
Galt.
looking.
Teddy.
I don't know if it's available anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere either. I'm sure, like some libraries out there, your local library may have an interlibrary loan program where they can order books from other libraries. So maybe someone out there has John Galt's Teddy book. Very creepy, very interesting horror book or horror movie. It appears to adhere closer against its original screenplay than the finished film, containing more character development and a far darker tone, is what they say about this movie. The Pit, Teddy, or the book Teddy. Macari, Mr. Gretzky said that he sold some items on Macari. He was telling me that today on the Facebook chat. And I was like, dude, Kat's been trying to tell me about this Macari.
I've been buying
for a long
bunch
time.
of stuff off Macari lately.
You
Much different user interface than eBay.
Mhm.
Much more like involved between the sellers and possible buyers and everything. And I'll tell you, I've really been enjoying it. And the few minor issues I've had with Macari have been fixed, no problem.
Yeah.
So big shout outs to Macari.
I'm sorry, that's probably pretty loud.
The sizzling from your drink.
Yeah.
You got some sizzling going on. What's that sizzle?
Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer. Okay.
Hitting the old Alka-Seltzer.
Got that Alka-Seltzer. Alka-Seltzer sizzle. Everyone.
Hey, speaking of sizzling, Can you check that little share screen thing? Can you bring up the share screen thing?
Again.
Check this out, fans. Currently live, I've got some stuff at the Great Legend Show eBay store you're
Okay.
not going to want to miss. Over 1,100 feedback, 100% feedback rating. We've got some games. We got GTA 3, we got GTA Vice City, and we got GTA 3 and Vice City at max grades here. So fans, get on board. Go to the Great Legend Show's eBay store, because you'll be glad you did.
Dude, Gretzky, if your used bookshop has Teddy, buy it and then send me your Macari link. I'll buy it from you.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, you've already bought some items off Macari, haven't you?
Yeah. I've got like 30 reviews from as a buyer. I haven't sold anything. I'm not really big on like selling necessarily. I don't know how to do it. It's I got a full-time job. I got a bunch of stuff going on around here.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'll go to like my local toy shop and I'll bring some stuff and like trade in or things like that. Like I've been working on trying to downsize my pop collection right now because it just got to be a bit overwhelming.
Hey, click on this share screen real quick. This is on Macari right here. You got to go Macari. Come on, Kat. How about that? Hey, Mark, do you know what comic book this is?
Oh no.
Yeah, he knows what it is.
It's Harley's book. It's
First
the Harley book.
appearance.
I like it. I like this Macari. I'll mess with it in a little bit
How
more
much
in
is
the
that bad
future.
boy going for?
Like
Over a
1,200 or something. Yeah, like 1,200.
There goes your stomach. boy.
Yeah, that's like a stimulus. Like that's some tax money right there, don't you think?
Yeah, it's just some random money you didn't know you had coming. Just waste it.
Oh my God, Chris Barrett says I pre-order like 5 of them. So Chris Barrett's still buying pops. You know, I'm really getting into the character of Firestorm, so I'm getting a lot of Firestorm stuff, and they have a Firestorm pop on eBay right now for like $9.99, $5 shipping. So that's pretty good. You know, that's like base cost basically.
So here's my thing. I like my pops. I do. But they take up a lot of room and I have a lot of them. And then when I have a lot of them, I can't buy a lot of things like this. So
now that is freaking cool.
It's a dinosaur mask. And I have various mannequin heads for all my masks and everything, but I don't necessarily have room to display all of my various masks. So, you know, got to make room in the studio. Also, I've got a BKR Behind the Bar set that I still need to put together that I've purchased a ton of stuff for. That's just in a closet right now because I have no room for it in our big ass studio that's been taken over by Pops.
Yeah.
I'm ready for more Mark BKR Behind the Bar segments, and also bringing back your old furry little puppet Lawrence. Yeah, the old Spider Lawrence himself.
Yeah.
You know, and what's great about old Furry K Hagerstein or whatever Smooter's been dropping it on IG of his pics. Have you seen him on IG? The wall mount.
Yes,
that
cool. the heads. Yes,
dude, those are so damn cool and creepy at the same time.
Henry J. Aggermonster.
Yeah, that's right.
That's his name. Henry J. Aggermonster.
All right, we got another bid in here at the old video game, the old Grand Theft Auto video game. But yeah, you've always told me that, Kat, that eBay, you know, you just don't have time to do a lot of the selling on there and all that. And from experience, I've been on eBay since 1999. But it does seem like every damn year the system changes or they update it to where it's more difficult for me to use. You know, but I'm in a good groove. You know, I got 4 items up. I'm going to hopefully add some more up tomorrow, some comic books. So if y'all like slabs, y'all need to go over to the eBay store after this video, of course. Real quick, I want to give a big old huge shout out real fast to Annie Banks, you know, Kat and Mark's original co-host with the most, but sadly, Annie Banks, she is needed elsewhere. She's got a lot of awesome projects that's coming her way, and she has to put time to those projects, so she couldn't do a lot of the Comic Core stuff. So you probably won't see her on Fridays or Sundays anymore. But you never know. Never say never, because anything can happen in this business. So we may see her back, but we do wish her well on her
On the
future
future
endeavors. And Annie, thank you so much for allowing me to be with Kat and Mark, the superstar BKR behind the bar tonight here live Sunday on Is It That Bad, as we reviewed The Pit. And I tell you, I'm about to have to go to my own little pit here in a little bit. So any final thoughts?
So, Legend and I were talking a bit before this about our streaming schedule and how we're going to be doing that. And it appears as if we are going to be able to be doing this every Sunday.
Every freaking Sunday live.
Sunday. So I don't know if either one of you had a film planned or you wanted to do for the next episode.
All right. Well, Mark picked Kung Pao.
Kung Pao Inter.
You picked that one, didn't you? You picked it.
Yeah, he did.
Kat Wren, I don't know of any that I need to watch right now, but I'll let you pick, because me and you, I've got all the same, ways to watch shows digitally, just like you got.
So it's starting to become summer.
Yep.
Which is a very cherished. Mark knows where I'm going with this. He already knows. It's a very cherished time in our household.
Summertime.
I drive everyone nuts this time of year because you gotta mute me in the middle of my spiel. There's a lot of things that happen in summer. 1 week in particular that's definitely beloved and dear, and that happens to be Shark Week.
Oh, Shark Week!
So I start breaking out all the shark movies this time of year,
all right,
because I'm not allowed to the rest of the year, because otherwise I have to sleep on the couch and I get yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
So Amazon Prime,
you have to. You are going
Amazon Prime has dropped Ouija Shark.
That's true.
So
Ouija Shark.
We're going to be watching Ouija Shark. It's available on Prime for streaming, everyone. I would say parts Exorcist, parts wannabe Jaws, and I'm here for it. It's our first shark movie on Is It That Bad? And I'm very, very ashamed of myself to admit that this is our first shark movie. We should definitely have had more shark movies before now. But, with Sharkathon coming up in the BKR Figures household, definitely got to show up for the sharks. So Ouija Shark, everyone, on Amazon Prime will be the movie that we will be talking about next show.
I'm trying to look it up right now. Oh, a Ouija Shark. There it is. I don't even know if it has like a preview pic. It just says a Ouija Shark.
Oh, it does. So like the photo on Amazon Prime for it and everything, it's like a girl on like a pier or whatever, and it's just like a shark with like demon eyes behind or whatever. I think he's gonna get it up. Load.
The beat.
There's the trailer. This is the trailer. Whoa! Hello.
Yeah. With sharks, you gotta be prepared for boobs.
Yeah. So stay tuned. This is the trailer for it. Look, they're running. It's a Ouija board time. But yeah, Ouija Shark. I'm pumped for that one. That's on Amazon Prime. So everyone, if you do have Amazon Prime, make sure you watch Ouija Shark before next Sunday, 10:05 Eastern. So you could talk about it with me, Kat, and Mark. Yeah. It's gonna be good. Ouija Shark.
I'm excited though.
Mark, what do you think? Do you got any final thoughts?
The start of shark movies.
Yes.
I know, man. You got to get back into it, dude. I know you are probably burnt out from last summer.
Do you think we can find a pit? I can jump into it.
Yeah. Well, if you do,
jump into it.
Make sure you take some of those inflatable sharks with you.
Maybe they'll keep you afloat. We do.
No. I'm gonna take that Hulk movie with me, so that way they throw me back.
Oh, the Ang Lee Hulk movie. I'll take that.
I'll take it with me. They'll throw me back out.
Oh. Well, golly, I had a great time tonight. You know, first time officially co-hosting with Cat Mark. It's always a damn good time. And you can catch the old great legend on Instagram. I'm going to be posting a picture of Whose Grail Is It Anyways from last Friday's Comic Core Roundtable. One of the segments on there is Whose Grail Is It Anyways, where we talk about grails. And I'm going to take a picture of the Fantastic Four 48, and y'all can let us know if you think Fantastic Four 48 is a grail or not. And then if you think it is, just put something in the comments. And then make sure you come back and see us Friday for Comic Core Roundtable, and keep us and watch us on Sunday for Is It That Bad? Cat Wren, take us out.
All right, so guys, this has been Is It That Bad on the Comic Core. Of course, as per usual, I'm Catherine Figures. This is Mark B. Kara90. And introducing, of course, our lovely co-host with the most, the great legend live show himself. And, it's Is It That Bad? Where we talk bad movies, B-rates, and everything in between. Yeah. Check us out. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Comment below. All the nonsense. Yeah. Until next time. Bye.
And
End.